Well, all right. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Double Crossed. We're going to recap some Ryder Cup this week. Oh, it's going to be exciting. I'm your host, Dan, at 2 inches short, and this is my co-host, Dave, at Golf and Jokes. We're excited to be with you to recap what was I don't know, people are giving it a whole bunch of names, but it just was a murder by the seashore, to be honest. I just kind of, that's where I'm going with it. It was awesome. We're gonna recap everything. Guys, I just want to real quick thank you again to everyone who has provided some feedback, obviously subscribed and rated, reviewed. It all helps us out. We appreciate it. Again, you know where you could find us, anywhere your podcasts are sold. So let's just kind of get right into it. Dave, the U.S. made history.
Yep, it sure did. It was a beating basically from the start. You know, I thought, okay, first session, they took a nice lead. Maybe Europe's gonna make it interesting now, and just didn't. They just could not get on any kind of momentum. I mean, they did have a bid on was it Saturday afternoon when they at least could have made it a little interesting. And then
I was hoping it wasn't going to get to 10-6 because 10-6 we know what happened to 10-6. 11-5 was I felt way better about 11-5 than
well at one point it could have even been 9-7, right? Because I think Europe was like up in almost every
matches. Yeah, they had a pretty decent afternoon session on Saturday, and then it was like
they just could not hang on to any leads they ever got. It just thinks unless it was Rahman Garcia, who played phenomenal for the most part. But other than that, it was Europe had nobody.
I mean the Team USA showed up. That's what happened. I mean, on paper,
that's
on paper they're the best team that probably. I mean, I think they're talking 1981. I think that team was one of the best with who was on that. But like, being that the world rankings came out in 1983, statistically, this is literally the best team the United States has ever put together.
They played up to the hype.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. They played well, which it's crazy that, you know, if you play well, you wind up winning.
You know, all the talk about a task force and this and that. You don't need that. Play fucking good golf, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's
it's
what
not
happened.
Hard. It's not rocket science.
Oh no. It's I mean, you know, it does help having, you know, leadership, and you know, you do have to make the pairings, and you know, there is something that kind of goes into it, but it comes down to playing golf. And we gotta just first talk. All right, 19-9. This is the first time in history that a team has gotten to 19 points. It was, I mean, that's kind of what you want to see. I mean, DJ goes 5-0. I mean, only like 4 other Americans have done that. I mean, ever. I think Arnold Palmer is one of them, right? And,
if you would have asked me before the Ryder Cup if DJ would go 5-0, I would say hell no, because historically he hasn't been great in Ryder Cups,
and also he just hasn't been playing well. Like, you know, but you know, that's the thing about DJ is it's pretty much the biggest goldfish there is, and he'll you know, he just forgets whatever just happened to him. So, you know, I mean, he got, I don't know, he just putted well. I mean, it wasn't like a big deal. Like we didn't like putt lights out. We putted well. The Team USA putted very well. But I mean, it was like the par 5s that it was long, like the shorter par 4s that like United States. I mean, Bryson drove the fucking first hole, you know,
there was a lot of drivable
he walked off the tee with a putter in his hand, Dave. I mean, it's one of the, I would think that's probably the coolest feeling in golf during the Ryder, especially during the Ryder Cup. We're going to get into players, Bryson, obviously in a little bit, but we do have to just talk about the team themselves. I mean, it was just a great showing by the U.S. Obviously, we would have liked it to be a little bit closer, and you know, Europe, as per the usual, just handles it with class. I mean, they got their asses kicked. They know it, and you know, nobody had a seemed like a worse time than Rory, who gave one of the most emotional interviews.
Didn't expect that. I mean, you know, when you first saw him, like, what happened to someone? Did he come out with say like something bad happened to his family,
like his family,
or personal, right? Or whatever? And then it's just the Ryder Cup and how much it means to him, and he just didn't perform the way he thought he was going to, or everyone thought he was going to. So
yeah,
and then and then back to how I said last week that, you know, there's no way it's a more important tournament than the Masters or whatever. And Rory flat out said, no, it's the best tournament or event, you know? And I guess, you know, I take it back. I guess it really does. I guess you got to kind of be there or compete in one to really understand how much it, you know, matters, and the adrenaline you get and all that. So yeah, I guess to some players, it means everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think he said something about his individual, like he couldn't care less.
Yeah, he doesn't care about individual stats or whatever.
He literally said doesn't give a shit, like on air, and had to like apologize. It was during the NBC broadcast, but he had to apologize. He lost it on the Sky interview. He just that's his nature. He just like said like, hey, you know, I'm sorry for swearing, you know, but you know Rory, it was good to see him care, but I think that maybe this kind of gives him a little bit of a kick in the ass, because I mean that there was a time where they played a British Open at Royal Portrush where he literally grew up playing golf, and he put his first drive OB and he couldn't do anything. And
he just hasn't.
It just seems
right
like there's yeah, man.
Like there, I mean,
we should say he's a relatively new father, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty
it is
sure
what it is. No excuse. Look at Rahm. Look at when Tiger had kids. It just there's something missing. I don't know what it is.
I don't know whether he's figured it out or he's figuring it out. It just seems like he's like kind of all over the place mostly.
Like I said a while ago, it would not surprise me at all if he never ever wins one more major.
Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like there's a better chance he doesn't win another major than he does. Put it that way.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you got to be able to hit wedges within 30 feet.
The wedges are one thing, that it's also the putter with him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, he's arguably one of the best drivers. You know, he is one of the best.
He used to be, though. He's even now. He kind of.
Isn't he working with was he working with like Pete Cowan? That's obviously not going very well.
I mean, yeah, obviously swing changes take a lot of time, but I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see. I feel like we'll have a good idea by next year how the season goes, if where he's at.
What if he comes out and wins the Masters?
That'd be crazy. But
I don't know. He's gonna have to beat John Rahm. That's what we do. What we do now. But yeah. So again, we'll get into players later. We've just got to talk a little records here. So since 1979, Europe has won 11, and USA has now won 9. Again, we talked DJ's record, which was crazy. The lead that the United States had after like day one was a record. I mean, there was just constant records falling here, and you know, it was just a solid performance all around. Again, Europe just didn't quite. I don't know, man. They weren't playing really well coming into it to begin with. I mean, it is based on like form. I mean, Patrick Cantlay won the FedEx Cup. I mean, these guys are just coming off the FedEx Cup playoffs, or a majority of them are playing in it. I mean, you know, and again, we're going to get into,
and they said
the future of these teams, you know, later on too. But yeah, what were
they said every U.S. player played in the FedEx Cup, and I think they only said like, I don't know, a handful of the Europeans were playing in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's golf. As much as you want to turn Ian Poulter into the beast that Ian Poulter is in the Ryder Cup, where he still hasn't lost in singles. You know, you gotta just say.
Did he win Sunday match?
Yeah, him and Westy won their Sunday matches.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of cool.
Oh wait,
yeah.
so Poulter's never lost in the singles?
No.
Nice. But in the other foursomes and stuff, he's not that great. His record. No, I think he's right. Yeah. And it's pretty much, to be honest, like Rory, the last few years has not been good in cups. Rory.
Ian Poulter? Oh, Rory.
No, Rory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's lost. I mean, he won his match on Sunday.
And to be honest, same with Westwood. If you look at their previous records, the last.
Yeah. And also, you also have Sergio, who's the all-time point getter in, for Europe, which is just crazy to see. Well, actually, speaking of, Sergio won the Nicholas Jacklin Award for sportsmanship performance. Yep, for Europe, because he did play with, which is also hilarious because Sergio and sportsmanship really go and as he's screaming like a petulant child in a bunker. But maybe being a father changed him. I don't know. But yeah, so he played with John Rahm, which I mean, I think they won all their matches that they played together, right? Right. So that Spanish Armada, they I mean, it's just cool to see. I just think that the fact that like they're kind of following in footsteps of the guys before them, Ballesteros and Olazabal, and just down the line, and John Rahm gotta just we're into this podcast and I gotta talk John Rahm played. I mean, he was like carrying the entire team on his back. I mean, he ran into a buzzsaw of Scotty Scheffler, which again, we will talk Team USA.
Yeah, I feel like Scheffler would have beat anybody that day.
Right. So it just, I mean, Rahm played his best. I saw is Daniel Rappaport from Golf Digest. He said he asked Rahm like what he thought of the week or something about, can you put it in perspective? He's like, well, I had to play fucking amazing just to get to hole number 16 in most of his matches. Even he's thinking, I mean, he was putting lights out. I mean, he was world number one. Yeah. Arguably, Colin Morikawa might be close to world number one before you know it. Which again, we will talk Team USA. But John Rahm played beautifully and basically carried the team along with, seeing Sergio kind of do his thing. And DJ actually won the Nicholas Jacklin Award for sportsmanship or performance, which I'm pretty sure he has no idea.
He doesn't give a shit about that.
But I'm sure it means something. So, Dave, I mean, what a week. Got to talk about. Let's
talk about the venue. The venue is phenomenal for a Ryder Cup. I thought, I thought it was great for a Ryder Cup. It has just a lot of drivable holes. It's just, even for fans, it just the views, which even just attracts more casual fans to just watching. And I don't know, I thought it was a great setup for
definitely favored Team USA in the setup. And also the course is not like, it's not an easy golf course, and you got to be able to strike it. And I mean, like we were saying, I mean, the US won the first hole like way more than Europe won the first hole. And the moment you start a match going the right, that kind of momentum just immediately starts building. So Bryson, like we were saying, driving the first green, and then another drivable par 4, and then Colin Morikawa's hitting driver, which seems like he winds up hitting driver closer than I can hit a wedge. And it's ridiculous. How about I mean, I would say the viewing though, with the drones, and we'll get into some coverage takes later on, but it's spectacular. My buddy played it last month and said it was incredible. He was like, you're dead if you miss it. I mean, and that's what happened. I mean, if you miss it, you're pretty much screwed. I mean, we saw some of the most ridiculous. I mean, Spieth hit one of the most ridiculous golf shots we've ever seen. Like, Bryson's drives are going to get all the, but when they put Tracer on that, I mean, so Spieth was down off that cliff on, I think it was 17, the par 3, and JT put him there, and Speed has like, he's basically on his back foot, and it's just if you didn't see it, you got it.
Almost fell in the water.
Replay. Literally ran back. I mean, people were saying, was it exagerated? I wasn't. It
probably was.
He was trying to regain his
trying to regain his maybe a little bit.
I mean, that was that. You know, I think besides the post with the winning interview, that was probably the best thing Speed did all week. But you know, Speed, again, he wouldn't have even been on the team if, you know, we were talking about him last year's, if the Ryder Cup was last year. So, but true. Yeah, that shot, I mean, we'll kind of go over some ridiculous shots, but yeah, that one tops checks one of the boxes, and probably like even Phil was probably like, oh shit, that was sweet. I mean, how high did that go? Like probably 780 feet.
I don't know. I posted a pic of it, and the shot tracer was like it looked like a rocket in the sky.
It just landed 5 feet. It was awesome. Yeah. But I did almost run into the water. We almost lost them. But yeah, dude. So yeah, all right. Let's quickly talk, just because we're talking about. Oh, we're still talking. Did you want to continue with the venue? Venue was great. I mean, I would love to play.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was getting to. It's definitely on my bucket list of places to play. I'll probably do a Wisconsin trip, play Whistling Straits, and go to a Packers game, to be honest. So
that'd be fun. Yeah, make sure it's early in the season. You don't run to get over.
That's the problem. It's got to be like early September, and yeah.
Well, that sounds like a good time. That sounds like a good time for sure, man. Yeah, the event, like we were saying. I mean, my buddy played it, loved it. You know, just the whole setting. It's pretty great. You know, misses are highly penalized. There wasn't much rough unless you really missed it. You know, and the bunkers were not the easiest bunkers to get out of, but these guys are so fucking good. You know, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I mean, I did hear some things about traffic getting to the venue.
Yeah, I heard that they needed police escorts. Getting to the course,
right? They had to get police escorts because of traffic getting there.
Seems kind of weird. To me, I feel like it's in the middle of nowhere. I feel like, which I'm probably way off, but you would.
No, but that's part of the problem, is that like there's no really access to the property, and that is kind of what, you know. I mean, they had time to plan for it. So, but yeah, so they, you know, obviously, you know, it's playable. I mean, I don't think an average golfer weekend hack playing that course probably should bring a box of balls for sure. Because
I mean, you definitely need to play from the right tees for sure.
Yeah, well, because some of those carries and just cliffs and
the par threes. By the way,
the par threes are that, oh god, those high draws that are hitting into the wind. Oh, dude. And the wind was blown. When the wind blew, man,
afternoon,
these guys are making like 7-8 birdies on Sunday in like 25-mile-per-hour wind. Like these guys, the level of golf we saw was ridiculous. And you know, that the golf course, I think the last 4 Ryder Cups now, 4 Ryder Cups have been won on each other's soil. On home soil. So, you know, I mean, the next Ryder Cup, like we were saying, is in Rome. And I bet you the fairways will be much narrower and the rough will be way higher.
Yeah, because there wasn't really much rough here. Like just
but that also set up, you know. So you have like the best ball strikers in the world. I'm not taking anything away from Europe, but like playing at a level where it was, I mean, Patrick Cantlay without a hat, like it was, I mean, I've never seen this kind of emotion. So, but we do need to talk, like, let's just kind of like pump the brakes on the fact that, you know, it was over very quickly. There's been talk and it's really just kind of natural to start thinking about, you know, the future. And the Team USA, man, there's no really like changing of the there's no really like changing of the guard, because like nothing really matters until we win in Europe, because like we haven't won in Europe since like since 1993, the Belfry. So I mean, we can talk all we want about how dominant this win was. I mean, there were no European fans there. Like the course was set up exactly for the United States, like they had the best players. They were, everything was going in the direction. A lot can change in 2 years. So I don't know, Dave, I'm not really sold on, this is, it's Europe should be scared moving forward. I'm not still not sold on that.
I mean, if you look at the future players who will probably be on the team, yes, no doubt USA is always going to have more talent. They're always going to be on, heavy favorites on paper. But until you do it on the road in Europe, in front of that crowd,
on a golf course, probably that you're going to have to hit more fairways than you do in the United States.
Until you do it, then it doesn't really matter. You were supposed to win at home, definitely. So we'll see what happens in 2 years. I definitely think it'll be a lot closer. It won't be a blowout, but I just think with the talent going forward, I think Team USA is going to be very tough to beat.
They'll be very tough to beat, but that, again, it just is how you're playing that week. And that's how golf is.
I feel like the one thing that came out of this too is basically Team USA has the pairings pretty much set going forward. Like Cantlay Alexander, great team. Colin and Dustin, great team.
DJ will be 39 next Ryder Cup also.
That's still pretty much right. He'll be fine. Brooks, Berger, comfortable with each other, pretty good team. Bryson, Scheffler, like they have their good pairings, JT.
Well, Steve. they have good pairings, but at the same time, there's also like we were saying, a lot can change in 2 years. So like there's a lot of guys who
there's going to be some new guys.
There's like a Matthew Wolf who, once he figures his shit out, I mean, I would love on the Ryder Cup team. So like, Will Zalatoris,
Ricky, does Ricky come back and make a team?
I don't know. Oh man, I'm surprised he wasn't on the 18th green shaking hands with the team. But I'm surprised he wasn't an assistant captain, to be honest. I know he'd probably be the youngest.
I think he's still a little young, and he doesn't even want that. Like, you know what I mean? He wants to. Yeah.
Got it. So like we were saying, I mean, as much as we're fucking amped up about how our team looked this week, it was 1 week, and we're going to have to play against Europe in Europe. So until we win sometime this century, let's not get carried away. We can enjoy this win. But actually, did you hear during the winning press conference, which obviously we'll get into also.
It's phenomenal. To be honest, that's the number one thing I look forward to. Each Ryder Cup and President's Cup are the post speeches.
It's amazing. And we will talk about that in a second, but there was a question asked about do they like their chances, like how they feel about their team moving forward, going to Europe, and where they haven't won. And I think Xander responded, he was like, just let us enjoy this moment. And Spieth was like, let me answer this. Let me tell you, like, yes, we need to take this on the road. And basically, he was like, if we played like the way we did, we won't
be beat. Yeah.
But I mean, it sounded like he took it personally, because, I think as we're talking about this, like, you have to prove that you're capable of winning anywhere. And I think that there's going to be, it's not going to be as easy as it was this week.
Yeah. I feel like in 2025, I think it's at Hazeltine.
Bethpage.
Is it? Oh, Bethpage. Oh, perfect. I'm definitely going to go.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely on my to-do list for sure.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there were so, people get so mad about your Team USA, the fans like booing the other player. Like, it's a team event. This is
And yeah, especially with that crowd in New York, that's going to be even more of a home
Oh,
field advantage.
oh, it's gonna be, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, we weren't on the grounds. I mean, people were saying like, oh, people were saying bad shit, but like probably that was a very minimal, small part of it. Oh, dude. So I mean, what we saw, just real quick, got to just talk about what we saw this week. And I mean, JT and Berger were slamming beers on the first tee. Berger shotgunned his like a pro. JT finished half of his Michelob Ultra, then threw it on the floor like a whatever. So, I mean, really cool stuff. I mean, but at the same time, Europe started to kind of come back during that session, right? So, but I mean, I've never really seen that kind of go down. And then obviously the celebrate. Yeah, I mean that was like the first time I've seen guys slamming beers on the first tee like we would at our local muni, right? So, but the celebrations were incredible. I mean, we saw Xander was slamming high noons and
a lot of cigars.
Brings a cigar into the press room, which was fantastic. Loved it. A lot of jokes about that. But yeah, that it was just I don't know, man. I mean, these guys, how do you play your match as you want?
I know.
It's kind of hard.
Absolutely nothing. All at that point, it's just for your individual record,
right? Just which matters to an extent.
Yeah,
pad in the stats. So yeah, man, it was so obviously then after the U.S. clinched it, we had the champagne flowing. We had, I mean, Spieth was pouring champagne into Phil's mouth this time. It was
that was cool.
It was awesome. DJ. Yeah. Oh, I saw Colin had he was double fisting a cocktail and a bottle of champagne and had the microphone actually tucked inside his shirt, which I mean, that's a veteran move. The kid's 24. He's like the best player on our team. So, and then, yeah, man, it was just, I mean, DJ was the life of the whole winning press conference. So
when do you think the after party is at Tigers? I don't know if you saw his tweet. He's like, can't wait to party with all you guys.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's been a couple things that we have been kind of kept hush about Tiger.
I can see Tiger saying, all right, next weekend, everyone, my place. I could see that, like, because a lot of the guys say they go over and see him. So I'm sure they
all live. It was like
they all live in Jupiter. I know.
Florida is like the team, the whole team
from Jupiter, Florida, Brooks or whatever. Actually, for Kepa, he's in West Palm. But I mean, which was weird when they're doing the opening ceremony. They said for JT, he lives in Jupiter. They said from Louisville, Kentucky, Justin Thomas. I found that strange.
I feel like JT asks them to do that.
You think so?
I think he's that type of guy, man.
I just wants to go with his.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I mean, yes, he's from Louisville, Kentucky, right? But he lives in Florida, correct?
Well, yeah, everybody's that's what it is. Yeah, exactly. That's why I found it weird.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it was like kind of Team Jupiter down there, man. It was, yeah.
But yeah, you know why? If you're an American golfer and you want to live where all the guys, you got to live in Jupiter.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest,
that's where it's at.
If I was a pro, I'd be living in Jupiter 100%.
Oh yeah, dude.
No,
if I'm a pro, Tiger and I are friends. That's what's happening. Yeah. Yeah, dude. It was. But speaking about Tiger, I mean, there was apparently we've heard that he sent him a text message or something, something inspiring because it's an unofficial part of the team, and I mean, he's literally a staple of American golf. We know this.
I'm surprised he didn't appear like on a video call. Maybe he did for all we know, and they just keeping it hush hush. But I guess they say he only sent a text.
They said he sent a text, and nobody's really talking about it. Which I
get it. Everything stays in the team. It's
not a distraction, and that's good. But he's kind of now, I think, like 5-0 unofficially as like as a captain or assistant captain on like a team, a USA.
Yeah.
Right. So Yeah, pretty cool shit. So, God, dude, hope that guy gets better soon and is able to play. There's been some promising talk though. So,
well, I mean, all the players are saying he's, ramping up to play again. So everything he's doing is to compete again. So he'll be back.
Awesome. Well, that's great news. Favorite player at the winning press conference is easily, like we're saying, DJ.
You know what? I found it strange. They never really asked Brooks anything. There weren't really many questions directed at him, if any. I can't really think of any. Maybe one I can recall.
Yeah.
There wasn't much of the Brooks Bryson talk at all.
Yeah.
As far as questions go. There was one question that I found hilarious. They asked Bryson, and Bryson's like, "Why are you asking me?" And Spieth from the back is like, "Because you don't do media anymore, or you haven't done media in a while." I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. Even Bryson acknowledged that was good, man. That was good.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I mean, it was such a great atmosphere when you win, and nobody's blaming each other. It was great. At the same time, you had the European press conference too, which was they just get it. It's there's no they're sitting there saying, we're not blaming Captain Patrick Harrington, we're not blaming him. It's really emotional. Like we were saying, Rory's emotional, and then Westy, Lee Westwood, he got real,
Well, to be honest, I don't think he'll be on any more teams. Who knows? He might make another one, but it could be his last one, and he's obviously going to be captain down the road for sure.
If you want it to be, right? And then Ian Poulter as well, who
he'll definitely be a captain one day, 100%.
He, like we were saying, he won his singles. So seeing Westy and Poulter win their Sunday singles was, kind of a nice send off. Sergio becomes the all-time point getter. I mean, and John Rahm and Sergio used to clash a little bit back in the day. And John Rahm was like, it's an honor to play with someone who
they used to clash.
Yeah, they had a little bit of it wasn't super smooth.
Oh, really?
From my understanding, yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, Sergio is an interesting guy, but I don't know, man. Something brings out the best or the worst if you're an American fan in Sergio when he gets it going. I mean, I saw him hitting
draining putts when he never
drains putts that were 5 feet off the ground, and it's just like shaping shots and doing his bullshit. So good for Sergio. I mean, he, but hey, man, the rest of Team Europe, I mean, it was tough. I mean, they have some old guys, they have some young guys, and it's just it's going to be interesting. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick had his hands full. Like he pretty much did what he could. There was really a tall ask for him to, pull out a win here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it was if you're good on Team if you're a Team USA fan, it was a lot of fun. So why don't we get into just real quick, what about the inside jokes that Team Europe has all the time?
I know.
Clearly they're talking about seeing each other naked. That's what it felt like.
Sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a locker room, it's a team event. So yeah, man, let's I guess while we're talking about players, let's talk about players. How they did. We can go through a couple.
Let's start with the man, Bryson. Do you think he repaired his image this week, or?
I think he did a great job of it. I hope it's amazing what happens when he wears a normal hat. It's a lot easier not, and how he really took advantage of the situation. I mean, he's a spectacle. He played to the crowd watching an exhibition. Really well. Yeah, he did, and he played well, and he played much better than he did in Paris. Yeah. And he was hitting drives. I mean, every time he took out his driver, it was almost like he was taking out like a sword and holding it above his head, like it's like, you know, he's some magic, you know, something with magic. So he's using this thing as a weapon, and he went, what was his record? He went 2-0.
He was 0-3 in Paris, I think. 0-3.
He was 1-0-1. He did not play foursomes. He only played
which I think was a smart move. Yeah.
You have the luxury to do that because, you know, he hit some amazing drives. I mean, the dude hit one 417 yards. He hit 72 yards into a 580 yard par 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was saying he was just hoping he wasn't going to par it. Made eagle, so
72 into a par 5. That's pretty legit. So yeah, I mean, Bryson hit some of the most crazy shots. I mean, so yeah, he was asked to do what he needed to do, and he did, and he won his Sunday singles match. And did he do enough to repair his image? I think he did a lot. I mean, the Ryder Cup does some crazy things to some people's careers, like look at Patrick Reed.
Yeah,
like that's like Captain America. And then, you know, but that's his personality. He's just not a likable dude. Like, you know, does Bryson take the Captain America name from Patrick?
Since Reed, you know, after that Ryder Cup, everyone was kind of high on him, and then shit happened and people went back. So let's see if Bryson can keep it going, or if he does some stupid shit going forward and it goes back to everyone.
There's definitely a high probability that he can just like ruin it. But, you know, I mean, I saw a video today of him like is into the next round at a World Long Drive Championship.
Yeah, crazy. I know. I was watching it. And
412.
Yeah.
409 and 412.
Thinking about it with the long drive, the key is you can hit some bombs, but they're just going to be outside the grid and it doesn't count. I think the one big advantage that Bryson has is he can keep a lot of them in the grid just because he's obviously a pro. He's accurate, more accurate, I think, than any of those guys for the most part.
Ranked player in the world.
So I feel like that's a decent advantage for him because you know he can make more balls count, whereas a lot of the guys maybe they're only making 1 or 2 balls count.
Yep.
So
yeah, he's certainly drawing some attention to the World Long Drive because you can almost guarantee we're not going to end up talking about it. So I mean,
it'd be crazy though. Imagine him and Berkshire in the finals or something.
Well, let's see if he can get it out of the next round. Yeah, like that's. But I mean, the fact is, like he was like third, like qualified third in his division.
What did Berkshire get today? Do you know?
I didn't see it. I don't know. I just straight up saw Bryson stuff. So yeah, dude, Bryson. I mean, is he like a 2-sport athlete, even though it's the same sport?
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Like
it is the same, but it's
Bo
like
Jackson,
totally different.
Deion Sanders. Oh, geez, Bryson. So yeah, I don't know. I think he'll definitely do something very, very quickly to I just think the Ryder Cup does some things because it makes people forget about things as you're playing for your country, and then you become the individual again. And you know, he's sitting there on the press conference saying, you know, I got another event. I'm not really drinking tonight. You know, it's like we get it. The problem is that he's just a little bit. I don't know. It's just, dude. He's pretty awkward socially sometimes, I feel. And I think that comes off the wrong way because it makes you feel like uncomfortable when you're like asking him questions or interviewing him or something like that. So, I mean, he did put his best foot forward. I love the fact that he was on our team and he was able to do what he's able to do. We'll see kind of how if it's really in his hands if he wants to screw it up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting to see what him and Brooks have planned. So I feel like something is coming down the road.
So I guess we should just get right into it. Brooks and Bryson are hugging at, you know, the press conference. You know, I'm making jokes that it's the Larry Bird, you know,
now
Michael Jordan, fuck you, you bitch. Like,
well, yeah,
I don't know. I mean, they came together as a team.
They did. They did a great job. Now, when Brooks was kind of going at the end to, you know, after they had won, he only kind of went to shake his hand, and then kind of Bryson, you know, brought him in. But it didn't really look like Brooks wanted to go in for the hug,
Well, JT
himself.
certainly took care of that when he asked.
Well, no, that was after. I'm talking about prior, when they were still on the course celebrating,
Yeah, I'm sure they're not friends. But
yeah, I feel like whatever it's squashed, they're just gonna be cool and with each other.
You said that they had something planned. Is that what you just said? You think
Bryson
they have
said
planned?
it. Bryson said it in the pre-interviews. Like, yeah,
and they're not
cool.
talking about their cool T-shirts that they're selling for charity, which is actually incredible.
That's cool. Even Brooks came out with some too. I don't know if you saw. He has some T-shirts for some charity with him and Bryson.
Probably his foundation.
Yeah. But no, Bryson said, and possibly something fun coming up down the road, which I think could be a match or something between the two, but we'll see.
Nice. Well, we will. I'm sure we will see. Yeah, Bryson. So yeah, let's just. I guess while we're talking,
it also came out that they wanted to play together. At least that's what Stricker said. Well, they even said,
I think there are gestures and some can be empty. I mean, it's nice to think that they would play, but
to be honest, Saturday going into the afternoon, they had the lead. Put them out there. Fuck.
Well, the fact that there wasn't any, I hear you. I still wouldn't do it. The fact that there wasn't any, like we were saying, like there was no bullshit. So like, we didn't hear any crap from, coming out, it was strictly like they were a team, and I think they didn't. I don't know. Did the United States have like a Ryder Cup gala this year? Or was it just the Europeans? Because all I saw were pictures of.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't see that. I didn't.
So like what I'm thinking is Steve Stricker wound up not doing like the normal thing. They just like focused on what they needed to do, and maybe. So yeah.
Unless there was, and they just kind of kept it on the DL.
There's no way we wouldn't have seen pictures of it. That's like one of my favorite things to do is see pictures from the Ryder Cup gala. It's so much fun to make fun. I see Victor Hovland with. Because him and Matt Fitzpatrick, I think, are single, and it was like two of their girlfriends or wives or whatever. It was funny. Anyways, talking about Brooks. Brooks goes 2-2, 1-1 in foursomes.
And I mean, the two losses, he ran into John Rahm, and he even said in his, "What am I going to do?" I ran into a buzzsaw.
Well, he made sure to say, "Yeah, for sure." Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he played well. Yeah, played well enough to win. He made 7 birdies, I think, on Sunday. Better. Yeah, but in the singles, right? So he won that. It was, he looked good. He seemed to care. I mean, I think we can put that to bed. I mean, he just talks. He just says what he's thinking. I wouldn't put too much stock into it. Then obviously we got to talk about DJ 5-0. 2-0 in foursomes, 2-0 in 4 balls, wins a singles match against who did he play?
Who did he play? Can't remember right now.
I think he played Paul Casey.
Yes. Which he's, I think, beaten him 2 other times in Ryder Cups.
DJ has. No, Paul Casey has. Or DJ has.
No, DJ's beaten him one or 2 other times in match play. I don't know if it's both at Ryder Cups or even with the WGCs. I don't know, but
interesting. So DJ 5-0, bud. 5-0 MVP takes home MVP. 2 of those wins. 2 of those wins were with Colin. 3 of those. How many of those were with Colin? 2. Yeah. 2 in the one was with
Alexander.
Right. And what was the other then?
Or was 3 with Colin?
I think it was 3.
Or was it 2 and 2?
I don't know. Yeah. Who did he play? No, did he play with Xander? He played with Xander.
He played with Xander. So it was.
Yeah, so he played with Xander. He played with Colin, and he played with. Did we already say that?
I don't feel like there was a third. I feel like it was just those 2 guys, and then the singles. So he must have went.
So he played with Xander during the 4 balls.
Yes.
Twice. Yeah. Got it.
So it must have been 2 and 2. That's probably what it was.
Yeah. And then win Sunday singles, like we're saying. Just an all-around one of 5 Americans to win 5 points. Oldest guy on the team. Way to save his best stuff for the Ryder Cup. Awesome. Yeah. And then obviously his partner Colin Morikawa, rookie, first Ryder Cup, 4-1.
Youngest guy on the team.
Youngest guy on the team, 4-1. Lost the singles match, basically conceded it, right? But
did he lose it, or was it a half? I thought it was half.
Nah, he lost. He
lost it.
Yeah. What do you say? So yeah, I mean, what a Ryder Cup for Colin Morikawa. What can't this guy do, dude? He is. Where was he? He played.
He can't hit bombs.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was halved.
Halved. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah. So 4-0-1, right?
I don't know. It just
4-0-1.
listed. It should be 4-0-1, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, pretty sure it's 4-0-1.
I'm just looking at Golf Channel. It definitely says 0-1 in singles, 0-1-0 in singles. And I was like, wait a second. I think that might be
swore they have, but who knows?
Yeah, no, they definitely have it. I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, dude. Yeah. Forget it. They have Victor Hovland. We'll get into Europe in a little bit, but Colin Morikawa, what a performance. Putting. We talked about DJ and Colin putting. They putted beautifully. It was great to see. Great to see. And then we had, what do we had? We had obviously we gotta talk Scotty. No, talk Scotty in a little bit. JT goes 2-1-1. I don't know, man. He didn't play very well. I mean,
no, he didn't. He played good on Sunday. But besides that, I don't think he had his best stuff at all during the Friday.
His dad wasn't there, which he usually is there. Little Earl Woods situation, but no, his dad. All joking aside, his dad had a medical issue. I think it was like a blood clot or something, and he couldn't travel. So, I mean, JT yelling after
JT was arguably the worst player on the U.S. team.
Yes. Arguably, yes. I mean, it's weird because he hits these tremendous shots and then he just can't. You just got to make a putt, you know. Yeah. So, and then Patrick Cantlay, he goes 3-0-1. That makes sense, right? Yes. Yeah. I mean, another rookie. Actual rookie. I forgot that he didn't play Ryder Cup.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to believe.
I mean, hatless Patrick Cantlay is an assassin. I mean, showing emotion. He won over, I think, a lot of fans as well. I mean, he hasn't missed a putt in forever. He's great. And I'm looking forward to him hopefully, staying healthy and being on this team for Ryder Cups, because he seemed to be one of the more vocal people even during the press conference. So and then we had Tony Fenow, who played great on Friday. Kind of kept it together when 1-2 makes sense. 1-2.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 1-1 in 4 balls and lost his match. I think it was Westy. I think I forgot who they played. I don't know. No. I'm sorry. Harris English played Westwood, and Harris English lost. We'll talk about them in a second. So yeah, good for Big Tony. I mean, I loved his style. I think he really got into it. He literally played flawlessly, on Friday. Good for Tony. I'm excited for him. I mean, a little bit like Scotty Scheffler, who again we'll mention in a second. Tony had some really, things like this can give the guy confidence, on top of what he's already had at the end of the season.
It's true.
It was a bit of a struggle during the summer for him a little bit, but he kind of righted the ship. And Tony with confidence, he's going to be a good player. He's just got to make those.
It's the thing with Tony too, is the putter. If he's making putts, he's So hard.
If he could be lights out 5 to 10 feet, he'll win
dangerous.
Plenty.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xander, gold medalist, smoking cigars in the press center, 3-1, 3-1.
I loved Rory against him in the singles. The fact that they put Rory out first, he shit the bed in the first 2 days. I'm like, Rory's going to go and get this point. And
Rory was playing like he was trying to backdoor top 10 when he's totally out of it. But good. Yeah. I mean, Xander, I mean, what a year for that dude as well. He's going to wind up winning.
Yeah.
Winning a couple more tournaments. Jordan, like we were saying, 1, 2, and 1. Played all right. Didn't play great. Had a couple of great shots.
Well, I feel like he played better than the record. I mean, I feel like he played better than JT when they were paired together.
Should they keep playing together?
No.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I don't think they're a fantastic team by any means.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Spieth, glad he was on the team, and I could see him being on the team, next year. 2 years.
He'll be on the team for sure.
And in the team room, 100%. Sure in the team room as well.
He's gonna win. He's gonna win a major soon. I could see Spieth.
You think so?
Soon. Yeah.
Yeah, Masters is usually a good pick for Jordan Spieth to win. So, it was. Just how he handles questions from the media is just constant positivity. I mean, he's a dream. I'm glad he. And then we got Harris English, 1 and 2. Didn't play great.
No.
But played, first Ryder Cup, and we'll see if he continues to play well enough to be on this team.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to see if these rookies do make another team or not.
Yeah, well, there's 2 that we're going to discuss. Daniel Berger, who goes 2 and 1, 1 and 1 in foursomes, 2 and 1. He played all right.
Yeah, he started a couple pretty good, and
he played real well. Yeah,
apparently in the practice rounds he was playing phenomenal. They were saying, but he kind of struggled.
So maybe it's a good thing that he had this is his second team event. I think it was on the President's Cup team in 2019. So Scotty Scheffler. So Scotty Scheffler goes 2-0-1. Goes 1-0-1 in 4 balls. Wins his singles match against John Rahm. Pretty solid performance from the rookie.
Yeah,
I'd say. And seems like this could potentially give him some confidence going forward to win some PGA Tour events, which he's never won.
No.
Right.
Should have won the match play.
Yeah. Yes. But hey, it would be nice if he won, stroke play. But it's nice match play because it is Ryder Cup. So, but hey, man, I think the rookies wind up going some ridiculous record. They didn't lose. Like they didn't. I don't know. They won like 14 matches or something like that. It was like crazy. DJ basically he got outscored by Europe by 4. Like unbelievable stuff. I don't know. Obviously DJ is the MVP. He goes 5-0, right?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. And then I would say, all in all, when everybody wins a point, which we talked about on the podcast, like everybody, you just do your job and win a point, and everybody did that, and we set a record. Europe, let's just quickly kind of go over Europe real quick. John Rahm, obviously, workhorse, goes 3-1-1. Like we were saying, had to get to struggle to get to 16 on most of these matches, but played incredible. Tommy Fleetwood, 1-2. Didn't play. It wasn't great form coming in, and didn't play his best. Bernd Wiesberger 0-3. The rookie got.
I feel like he played better though than the record indicates. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just hard in match play because like, you're based, it's like, what was it saying in the scorecard? Well, it doesn't matter what you shot or how you played. It's like, did you win?
Well, look at Colin. Colin shot, I think 7 under or something, or 8, whatever, 7 or 8 birdies on Sunday, and he only managed a half.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so it's true. I mean, that is match play, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is definitely match play. And so then Tyrrell Hatton goes 1-2-1. He's played pretty well down the stretch, couple 4-ball matches.
He's super frustrating to watch / bet. I find every time I make a bet on Tyrrell to win or whatever,
we gotta call him by his right name. It's Tyrrell,
whatever. Yeah, he's just completely like, he'll have a few holes where he looks amazing, and then he'll just shit the bed. Can't buy a putt. He'll shank one or do whatever, and then he managed at the end there with Rom to finally do something and win the last hole to get the half that match, which was good.
Yeah. I mean,
but, he's kind of Jekyll and Hyde, I find, when he plays.
Sure.
He always has that one hole where it's just, what are you doing?
Not great. Yeah. Obviously Rory 1 and 3. I mean, he looked
lost the first 2 days.
Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
Tough to watch.
Came back strong, had that post-round interview, which was probably the most.
Mind you, I've seen him. I don't like the pairing with him and Poulter.
I didn't either.
I don't know why they went with that. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, Rory, man. I don't know if he could hit a wedge into Lake Michigan, to be honest. It's like, but good to see he cares. Hopefully this kind of turns some shit around for him, because, Rory playing his best golf is a fun Rory to watch, and we're all very lucky. And it's also, he's just a class act. I mean, how could you not like the guy? I mean, he's just pure emotion and, tells you how he's feeling. And, I think he's going to figure it out. I mean, he's too talented not to. It's just a matter of if he has that competitive edge, I think.
with Rory, it's all in between the ears right now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The talent's there, man. It's always been there. Matt Fitzpatrick, bro, 0-3. Had some tough matches.
Yeah.
Had to play with Westy stuff. Young guy, probably will be around. We'll see. But great player. I mean, solid player. Paul Casey goes 0-4.
Yeah, terrible. I don't know why they kept playing him. He should have been sitting a couple sessions, I think.
Yeah, dude, wasn't great. Paul Casey. No. Then Victor Hovland, bright spot. Record much better than record is much worse than the way he played it. 0-3 too. Yeah. But he's gonna be around. He's gonna be
on many teams.
Yeah, he's really good. It's great to see. I mean, was he 24? I think. Lee Westwood, he's not 24. He's like 46, 48. I don't
know if he has any more in him. But
Lee Westwood, very emotional. Had his son on the bag. Won his Sunday singles match with his son on the bag, and just kind of really just the gravity of the Ryder Cup to these guys is ridiculous. But wonderful to see, and glad he won. Sergio Garcia 3-1. Fucking Sergio playing with John Rahm like he's 25 years old again. Great, it just brings out a side of him that we don't see in regular tour events, or so. Shane Lowry hit that putt on the 18th hole to win his match. Goes 1-2. I think that was on Saturday he did that. His father was in the background, cheering him on, and that was a cool moment, I thought. And then Ian Poulter, man, goes 1-2, wins his singles and loses everything else, but keeps his record intact. So that's pretty fucking cool. I think he's like 8-0 in Sunday singles or something around those lines. That's kind of so that's how the teams performed. Dave, what do you? I mean, 2 years is a long time. Who do you see not being on this team in 2023?
I think there's a very good chance Westwood won't be on.
Oh, you're talking Europe. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Europe. All right. Well, we'll start with Europe.
No, start Europe. Yeah, because we're going there. Yeah.
Westwood, I don't think will be on. I could see him definitely be an assistant. Definitely within the next maybe 4 to 6 years, he'll be a captain for sure. I don't see Casey being on. I possibly don't see Poulter being on. I just you never know. Maybe he'll be a Cavs pick. I don't know. He still has time, but Garcia will be on for sure. Rahm, obviously. Hovland, obviously. Wiesberger. Yeah, I could see him being on.
I mean, so like, I mean, it's like John Rahm, Tommy Fleetwood,
yeah,
Victor Hovland, Sergio potentially, right?
Yeah, he'll be a pick no matter what, I think.
But then you got to fill a lot of spots.
You do, and that's the problem. I don't follow the European Tour closely enough to really know if they have these,
there's some good young
coming. Yeah, I just are. What about McIntyre?
And their qualifying process is different too.
It is,
and that was something that was interesting. That Harrington had a chance to like do whatever he wanted with the qualifying process.
He made safe choices, kind of just like US did. Like he could have went and taken McIntyre. Who else is there? There's another guy.
There's a couple others. Yeah, for sure. But what's interesting is that's the same thing like Tom Watson did in 2014 was not change the qualifying process, and it came back.
Do you like it better with US's 6 picks versus or Europe's?
I wish it was just. Picks? I wish it just was all captains' picks. To be honest, all 12. Yeah,
that would be cool.
Because then basically assures you Patrick Reed's not going to be on the team. And seriously, in all seriousness, I just think like, Europe has 9 guys who qualify. I mean, the guys who qualified at the last week weren't playing great. I mean, you got to be able to pick and choose. I mean, and what we're talking about is a team. I mean, how many teams do you know get assigned players?
Yeah, I get that. I understand that. I also do understand.
Maybe top 3 qualify.
Yeah, or top 5, maybe top 5.
Or what if we knew what the the picking system was, and 80% of it goes towards qualifying points. Let's still have a qualifying. This is your guide to say this guy's top qualifying. Does he get on the team?
See, yeah, to me, I would rather, if you're going to have captain's picks, throw in a couple wild cards that they can be maybe 30th on the points list, but right. they bring some kind of value to the team. I want to see some crazy picks once in a blue moon, instead of just going always with the safe picks.
Yeah, but picks. Are safe picks rookies though?
It doesn't need to be. It could be.
Well, what I'm saying is,
who's never made a team.
Those rookies came out and played better than
they did, and right? I found in the last few couple Ryder Cups, I feel like rookies have performed pretty well.
It's because they're fearless. These guys are just going out there ripping the ball and trying to get in the hole quicker than everybody else. I mean, still, that again comes back to just playing golf. That's what these guys are doing.
Yeah, it's no different than any other event. And
it makes me think we should have more team events. I mean, the PGA Tour is just, it's so long, and not a ton of people. Imagine if we had I understand we had some the Premier Golf League and stuff like that have been discussing that, but for real, I mean team golf is fun. I mean, the Ryder Cup's amazing. and I don't know. I would like to see at some point, like,
to be honest,
I don't think it's that fair for Europe to play once every other year and the internationals play every other year. There's got to be a way to do it where you can kind of combine.
That is true. The US has a big advantage in that regard because they have the same team every year playing. Essentially, it's not always the same, but you know what I mean? Pretty much is.
Right.
And Europe only comes together every 2 years with that group of guys. So
that's kind of what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, there should be something with Europe every year playing, whether it be Europe versus
it could be like a three. I don't think you should get rid of the Ryder Cup. I don't think you should get rid of the President's Cup. I mean, the Ryder Cup inspired the President's Cup, right?
I feel like maybe Europe needs their own thing where they play every year. Obviously 1 year is the Ryder Cup, the next year something else. Just so
by the way, it should be a requirement for anybody on the US team to have to play that golf course in Rome before they get there. I be like,
you know what, it should, because there is a tournament there. Like I said, they had one not too long ago. Reviews weren't great from what I heard, but they definitely should play the course, I find.
Right. Or at least have some idea of what they're getting into. Man, I do think that at some point, I mean these things just generate so much revenue, for these companies, and I just the PGA Tour is a nonprofit, and they don't run the Ryder Cup. It's the PGA of America, but
thank God.
I mean, there's got to. Why would I think you'd make more money if you included the whole world? I that's just kind of my.
What do you mean, whole world?
Like get like included, like the
just
international
USA versus the world?
Like there's the international team. There's a Euro team, or split it up into continents. Split it up into. You can
that'll never change though. It's too much history with just.
We're not getting rid of the Ryder Cup. I'm just saying throw another event maybe on the calendar at some point. Maybe maybe have it like. I don't know. Maybe have it every other year, or I guess that wouldn't work, but like something around the Olympics or something along those lines, where you can have like
every 4 years, or I don't know what, maybe US versus the world, where Europe and internationals combine or something. I don't know if that were your.
Why not? I mean, I think it'd be cool to see a team of the United States, Europe, and internationals playing another team of, like a 3-3 3-on-3 match, like you know what I'm saying?
That'd be cool.
I know logistically that'd be tough, and you got to fit it into a schedule, and I get that. I'm just throwing out other ideas. I mean, the Ryder Cup tradition, and that's not changing. Nobody's saying that that's changing. All we're saying is like maybe there's some other team competitions, because I mean it felt like Michael Jordan's there, comparing it to like the NBA. Steph Curry is there. Like this is like this is how you make golf, enjoyable and kind of and sell golf to the rest of the world and to people who don't necessarily watch it, because it is a team sport. I mean, you get jacked up about NFL football. I mean, and they can't even define what a catch is, and we love it.
Speaking of NFL, did you hear the Farmers Insurance is being played Thursday or Wednesday to Saturday?
Wednesday.
Yeah, because they don't want to compete Saturday, with the NFC championships.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird,
nice
but
for golf
I'm good with it.
It's nice for golf to finally concede the fact that
NFL
we can't compete with the NFL.
Yeah.
But dude, I think we got off on a topic. Let's bring it back. Team USA, who's not on the team next year, or who is on the team? A lot can change in 2 years. Like
pretty much, I think majority will be on. If I have to say who won't be on, I don't see English being on. I don't see. I'm 50-50 on Berger. And there's a chance this might hot take. There's a chance Brooks won't be on. Only because of injuries.
Okay.
If he can stay healthy, 100% he's on the team. But to me, injuries are starting to pile up, and they're gonna hopefully not be the case, but they very well could be.
Yeah, I see that, man. I definitely see that. I'd say, I mean, like we were saying, a lot can change in 2 years, and yeah, Daniel Berger, Harris English. I mean, even maybe, I don't know, maybe even like what if like JT isn't there for some reason? Is he an automatic captain's pick?
I think so. I don't see his game falling off that much. I mean, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of, I'm
it's
just saying, like, could you
honestly
imagine the team without JT? That's what I'm saying. It's like,
honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me if all these guys are back. Obviously they won't. Obviously there'll be some shakeup.
Well,
but
that was what we were talking about offline. Quick is I mean, there's a bunch of guys who could be on the team. Like we were talking about, like a Matt Wolff, a Will Zalatoris, who is teeing it up this week on the PGA Tour as a real PGA Tour member this year. I mean, Sam Burns, even like
Burns,
there's Horschel,
Kisner,
potentially,
those guys,
Kisner potentially. Like, all I'm saying is that, like, there's a lot you can do. I mean,
Ricky,
if you even wanted to, fucking add more matches, like bring more players on the team, like make 6 matches a day so there's more on TV.
Well, to be honest, there's a lot of players that their only chance of ever making a Ryder Cup is you need to make it on points, because you won't be picked. I think that's been proven already, where there is a lot of players, not a lot, there are some players like the Spieths, the Thomases, the Dustin, whoever, all those stars, that if they don't make the team on points, they'll be picked automatically.
Well, they're in the circle of trust.
Yes. So
in the PGA circle of trust, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that don't really have to worry about making a team, because they'll be on it no matter what.
Well, in all honesty, I don't know whether Spieth really would have been on the team last year. I think he will be on the team moving forward, because last
year I don't think so, because his game was way off. But he'll be. I think he's figured out his game now. Going forward, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, one guy we obviously are referring to is Patrick Reed, who may or may not be on future teams.
He needs to make it on points going forward. Pretty sure.
If that system remains in place, unless we go 12 captains picks.
I don't think that'll happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen either. But yeah, dude, I think. Well, it was interesting. I don't know whether we talked about this earlier, but it was Brooks saying that it was a different. It was just more fun, and there's just what did he say? Different guys on the team.
Yeah, it's just he said all the guys are like very close. They're
they know each other from like since like middle school.
Yeah. So they're all kind of just similar age group, similar interests, growing up together. So
who do you think he's referring to? Is he referring to Patrick Reed not being on the team? Or is he referring to the fact that
Tiger.
1993 that Phil and Tiger, neither one of them were on the team?
Yeah. I don't know.
Even though Phil's an assistant captain, right?
I feel like he just meant it as a whole. Like, just in general, these are just a close group of guys. They hang out. They're the same age, same kind of interest, probably outside of golf. And I just think as a whole, I don't think he really meant it. Maybe towards Reed, I don't know, but there's definitely no way he meant it towards Phil and Tiger, because I know they're obviously all friends.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, there was no bullshit. That's seems to be a repeating theme, and good golf speaks for itself. Dave, obviously, I mean, we're so far into this podcast, we didn't even mention Steve Stricker's, or maybe we didn't mention him earlier, but Steve Stricker wins his major. It's what he's calling it, his major. Amazing to see.
Well, speaking of Stricker,
he also was President's Cup captain too. So, like,
was he captain? Or was he assistant? I feel like Couples was Oh yeah, he was.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was a captain.
I feel like Freddie's been captain for like 2 or 3 Presidents Cups. But,
but now that's the advantage that we're talking about with the United States and that play every year is that like we need to figure out a way to start grooming, captains and having player input and Steve Stricker still plays in the PGA Tour some events, right? So like he's with it with these guys and we were kind of talking offline about what we're thinking about captains moving forward. Again, Steve Stricker, hell of a job.
There's 3 captains,
but as much as a captain does anything, your players still have to play.
Yeah.
So
you could. It doesn't matter.
Right.
To me, the next 3 captains are Zach, Phil, Tiger.
So Zach Johnson in Rome.
Zach Johnson, Rome.
Phil at Bethpage.
No, sorry. I take that back. Tiger needs to be captain at home. I feel like he'll turn it down. So you think
Tiger's gonna be captain at Bethpage?
It could be. It could be Tiger. It could be Tiger or Phil at home. And then the Europe one, I don't know. And then maybe after that, Tiger. I feel like if Tiger's going to do it, he'll do it when it's on home soil. 100%.
Well, if Tiger had his choice, I'm sure he'd want to be walking again and captaining every team. So
I'm talking like 6 to 8 years down the road. He'll be.
Hopefully we're still playing golf and he's still winning majors. Hopefully. I know. I get it. But yeah, I agree with you on Zach. He's going to be captain. I mean, guys seem to like him. And then yes, Phil or Tiger will definitely be captain at some point. Yeah. And then Europe. I mean, you got like
Europe is so many guys, so many choices,
so many guys. Even like their assistant captains used to be like their whole right. It was like the entire.
Yeah, you got Thomas Bjorn. No, he was right. He already.
Yep.
Yeah. You got Westwood. You got Poulter. You got Garcia.
Stenson.
You got Stenson.
Keimer.
Keimer. I think
you could be captain.
Maybe in the majors. Yeah, he could be for sure.
I mean, there's so many, and that's just kind of their thing. It's just interesting because now, like they were constant, like all those guys used to play, and now it's like there's a whole crop of new players coming in, and their whole thing is like, well, the tradition really. I mean, there's a chance Sergio just keeps playing Ryder Cups. I don't know. It brings out the side of him that's strangely likable but hateful if you're on the American side. So I mean, we'll see. Captains are, they do help, and I think it makes sense for them to be in touch. But Phil won a major this past year, right? So like he had a, I mean, if he played well a couple more weeks, we could even be talking about playing. I would love to see Phil be like a playing captain, but that's not going to happen. Sergio might be a playing captain at some point. Tiger being a playing captain would be amazing. So
he already did at the President's Cup.
Right, he did at the President's Cup. I'm talking Ryder Cup.
And he was the best player that week.
He was
literally the best player on both sides, and he was the playing captain. Yeah.
So amazing. He's the best. I guess quickly we'll talk coverage. Wow, that was a lot of commercials.
Terrible.
There was, I mean, after every shot there was a commercial break. I understand you front load it and then you have like commercial free hours.
And there were so many shots that weren't even shown. The Bryson drive wasn't even shown.
The 417-yard bomb wasn't shown.
And there was even sometimes they weren't even showing, like it was like holes were going by and you're like, hey, what happened to the JT and
there's 4
Thomas
groups on the whole course. 16 guys.
Yeah.
I understand you're not going to be able to get to probably everyone on Sunday.
No, of course not. Yeah.
But you got to be able to see every shot of the Ryder Cup. Why won't you do feature group coverages of every match?
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to follow a match in particular, I don't see why.
Right.
Not. Yeah.
Got to change the viewing experience. Got to change it because it was really painful. Bad. It was brutal. I mean, I was making Brooks Bryson memes just to keep me sane, just to make sure, saying like, it's a commercial break. And it's like, oh god damn, not another one.
Yeah, there was so much content coming from the Ryder Cup. It was awesome.
Yeah, but not showing those golf shots were ridiculous. Besides that, I mean, the Ryder Cup's amazing. It was incredible. Real quick, Dave, do you think it was a good Ryder Cup, like an actually good Ryder Cup, or no?
Good question. I think yeah. I think it was good. Obviously, if depends what side you're looking at it. If you're American,
well,
yeah,
no, I mean,
it was one of the
aside. I mean,
okay, from my perspective, yeah. I'm not a obviously I root for US, so whatever. But I mean, I feel like on Sunday it was a little boring only because I knew the result. Like I obviously want US to win, but I wish it was a little closer on Sunday, just so there's just you kind of have no idea how it's going to go. This match is important, can Europe get that point to edge a little closer? But it was just over before it really started.
Yeah, it wasn't a really good Ryder Cup. I mean, it was good if you were a Team USA fan, but like, you do want to see drama. You do want to see
it was good in the sense of there was some storylines. Like, for example, take out the whole Brooks and Bryson thing. That's one major thing that was talked about all week that is gone. Then it would have really been
right.
So yeah. I feel like the storylines made it.
Well, we were talking about the storylines coming into it with the United States, and we never really heard anything about Europe, right?
Yeah.
All we wanted to see was the storylines. We didn't want to see any storylines. We just wanted to see good golf, and that's what we saw from Team USA. I don't think it necessarily, like I was saying, not a great Ryder. You want to see it competitive, but at the same time, you also want to see your team dominate because you haven't done that ever.
It was, I guess the fact that, they got the most points in history and whatever. Yeah, it's going to go down in obviously history books as an iconic Ryder Cup. But, as far as competitive standpoint, no, it wasn't great.
Well, speaking of competitive, there was some, Ryder Cup does bring some heated moments, and even regardless of whether it's an ass kicking or not. And there was a lot of back and forth about what length putt and when it should be conceded.
It was putt this ball.
Wild. You see, so the instance I'm referring to is when Bryson literally put his 45-inch putter in the fucking hole.
Yeah. So so JT wants to do it, fine. He has a normal putter. Bryson's putter is fucking 4 feet long, and he does it. Like, to me, okay, that's a bonehead move right there, Bryson.
Yeah, wasn't great. No. Inside his grip isn't even leather, so it's dude. Yeah, I mean, JT does it. I mean, there are some like kind of looks, but that's what match play does. I gotta expect to make the putt. Not asking for it after the fact or showing that it should. I don't really love that move. I think it's
first of all, putting in windy conditions is never guaranteed. Like, anything can happen.
Sure thing,
Right. So I understand making them putt like 2-3 footers sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, man. Especially when it's like,
and I also get it too. Like, if you want to win the hole, beat me on the hole. Don't instead of me missing this little putt. But
right, I hear you, man. I just we're playing. Chances are we'll have a couple gimmies. That's all right. But dude, what a week, what a venue. What a Ryder Cup! What a victory for the United States!
Yep.
It was like, it felt so good watching your team shut the door, and just close it and not hear the crap and then see the celebration and see what it meant. I mean, I hope this kind of changes the culture of things in the United States of how they view the Ryder Cup, really. because Europe they just get it. Even in defeat, they get it. So it's just a matter of what the United States takes away from this. And again, 2 years is a long time. It will come up quickly. We will be talking about it, and we will need to win in Europe. And once we win in Europe, then we can have a conversation of, is this dominant, whatever. But in the meantime, let's figure out a way to get the whole world involved, and maybe make it we can make the TV networks even more money and less commercials somehow. I don't know how. But dude, the whole Team USA, we're so proud of you. Team Europe, you put up a valiant effort, or as best as you could given the buzzsaw that was Team USA. So Dave, do you have any final thoughts on this whatever it was, 43rd Ryder Cup, I believe it was?
No, it was an awesome event. I was locked in from the start. I watched Saturday I watched some of it. Couldn't watch all of it because I had a wedding. I was following it on my phone.
Oh, that's right. How was the wedding?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome event. And obviously we got the President's Cup next year, which is still a fantastic event. So yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
I'll be rooting for the United States. Love it. Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. We're thrilled here over at Double Cross for the Team USA victory and everything that goes along with it. Great to see some emotion out of Rory. Really hoping something happens there, and good for Steve Stricker and everyone involved in it. It's such a great event. It's so cool seeing team golf, and it's so cool seeing our country kind of come together, put the bullshit aside, and just play the way that we're capable of playing. Again, let's win in Europe before we get carried away here. But right now, the Ryder Cup is coming home. It's in the United States. It will be here for at least 2 years, and hopefully it's with us for the next 30, 40. So there's also some more PGA Tour golf this week too. We'll recap that at some point. Sanderson Farm.
I don't think anyone really cares about
running a little long. Guys, if you have made it this far, we appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a follow on social media. Guys, we appreciate it. What a Ryder Cup week. Dave, it's always a pleasure recapping this shit with you, and kind of leaning into the USA vibe. I appreciate it, and congratulations on your Packers win. Forgot to mention that as well.
Yeah.
We're rolling, man. Roger still cares. Roger still cares. Yeah. Brooks cares. Rogers cares. Yeah. Cares about winning, dude. So yeah, man. Folks, you have just been double crossed. What a Ryder Cup. We are out. Go Team USA. Peace.